We're on Adventure 4 in Curse of Strahd, and things got a little interesting. Two of our members got possessed by the children that we had first met, and one turned into a whiny little girl, which was actually the boy, and man, that thing is loud. Anyways, and the sorceress elf turned into a diva, I guess, which is outside her normal parameters, which is weird because she's a high elf, but you know, whatever. That's fine. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah. So the sorceress kind of disappeared into a wall, and the dwarf was standing in the same room that she disappeared in, but she had no clue. She had no idea she disappeared. None at all. But that's okay. So the rest of us are inspecting this little dollhouse, which is how she found the secret stairway through a wall, and we were having troubles, but eventually we got it, and well, one of us, I believe it was Jorah, the warlock, who actually ended up finding it, and then he told everyone else, which is what the sorceress was supposed to do, but she's clearly not a team player. So after that, yeah, we went to the stairwell. I pushed Tober down the stairs, and that was funny because, well, I mean, he only lost 4 HP, but he, what are you doing? Anyways, he only lost 4 HP, but it was still funny because it's just this big block of metal, basically, going down the stairs. Wow. Okay, so after we all made it down the stairs, we were looking around, and I wandered off. As it turns out, the rest of the party kind of found some crypts. Tober went past the crypt, which was weird because he's been stealing everything since the beginning, but now he's like, nah, I'm not interested. So he went off and found some ghouls. So he had to fight those. He did it all by himself. No help needed. And he showed his badassery at that point. So while Jorah and Althea, the warlock and the high elf, or warlock and the sorceress, are inspecting these crypts, kind of, sort of. I guess they were yelling for me because not only was I the only one with the crowbar, but I also had the children's bones in my bag. I don't know why they got possessed when I had the bones, but it had something to do with, like, the leaving of the room. And when we fought the nurse, they left the room, so they got possessed because of that. Which is confusing, but I mean, you know, if that's the way it works, that's the way it works, right? So we accepted it, and I finally made it back around after exploring a little bit, found some beds, which we used later, so thank me. Of course I didn't get thanked, but you know, whatever, that's fine. Hello? Alright. As I was saying, I made it all the way back around, and I managed to open one crypt, and we figured out that so upon trying to open it, I scraped off the name, but it was easy to deduce, you know, who goes where, which child goes in which crypt, because none of the other names were scrubbed off. And it was only 2 of them, so yeah, kind of worked. And so I opened that one while I was playing Doctor. The sorceress decided it would be a good idea to use acid on the other crypt, which I guess then fused the wall and the crypt door together. That kind of sucks. Because then Microbar was useless. It was hell. Back where there's less wind. Hooray! And where was I? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the door. It got fused by the sorceress and her acid. That was not cool. But while I was playing doctor, I guess something happened between the two mages, and I guess they started fighting because I released one and he started being an asshole, and obviously the one who's a diva didn't like that. Yeah, it wasn't all that great. I gotta stop here and get food. I'm hungry. Like I was saying, there was a fight between the two mages, because I did release one, and it was Jorah, the warlock. So he suddenly had his nerve back because he was a whiny little baby hiding. He was scared of his own shadow, as long as he was possessed. But in the midst of the fighting, I did try and hide. I don't know if I was hidden, but I think I was. There's no realistically, no, I was just standing in the corner looking like I'm trying to beat a wall. So while they're fighting, October just kind of stood around being its shield. Anyways, we eventually did manage to melt the rest of the wall with acid. Somehow somebody convinced the sorceress to do it. I think it was Jorah that de-escalated the situation, even though he was part of the fighting, and everything went back to somewhat normal. I mean, with the little boy, it took me 6 or 7 tries to get him right with my medicine check. I'm not very proficient in medicine. Let's be honest. I know how to kill things, not put them back together. So upon that, I eventually did manage to get the little girl back together. It only took me 2 tries with that one for some reason. I mean, I only had 1 set of bones remaining. I just had to put them in the right order. So, yeah, makes sense. So after all the possessions were done, of course. Oh no, wait, that's right. The little girl possessed Jorah, and he became the diva. Because he tried to intimidate her, and it worked, but the nearest person was him, so she went into him. And that's how we got the sorceress to actually do what she needed to do. So, regardless, we opened the tomb, got the body back together. Both of the spirits thanked Jorah. Jorah. He did nothing to help the situation. He didn't open either of the crypts. He didn't put the bodies back together. It was me and the sorceress. But he got all of the glory. So, we finally get to move on. And, yeah. So, healing thing hasn't really gone over very well. And Jorah decided to steal a crystal ball. I don't know what was going through his head, but he's like, you know what, I went through a lot of trouble, I want this thing, and took it. So 5 shadows spawned, just came out of the wall, and it was a fearsome battle. One where, well, the door fell for sure, and then Jorah fell. I had to go save Jorah. Jorah was stuck. We ended up killing like 3 out of 5, and it was really awesome. But then they just disappeared. I don't know why. They just gone. I was kind of upset because I was down. I mean, I wasn't terrible. I had like 12 HP, which was, you know, not normal for me, because normally at the end of a fight I have either 2 or 0. So yeah, I wasn't doing so bad, so I was kind of mad that they just disappeared. You know, I was standing there screaming, "Is there no one else?" basically. And we did manage to like get the rest of the party up. We're down to like 1 potion, no spells. And with no spells, we can't really do anything, because we have 2 people who can cure wounds. Yeah. Anyways, we all found the beds that I found. I didn't even get credit for that either, assholes. And we all went to sleep. So, on that note, I'll see y'all next time.